This case begins with a simple airport drop-off, a casual visit with a friend, and a routine drive home. But sometimes life has other plans. What started as a normal day would soon unravel into a mystery that would baffle investigators and haunt a community for decades. Imagine a car left running on the side of a busy highway. Inside, a pair of shoes and a purse sit undisturbed, waiting for an owner who would never return. Outside, witnesses recall a blonde woman talking to two strangers. What transpired in those moments? What words were exchanged? And most importantly, where did she go? As the sun set on that fateful day, a family's worry turned into a community's concern. Search parties formed, flyers were distributed, and a desperate plea for information echoed across the state. But as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, hope began to fade like the summer flowers withering in the Michigan heat. Welcome to the mysterious case of a substitute teacher who vanished without a trace, leaving behind more questions than answers. Buckle up, dear viewers, for this is a journey into the heart of one of Michigan's most baffling cold cases.
The cold case of Paige Renkoski, who's been missing for 21 years, is now picking up steam today. We have pictures to show you of possible suspects. Paige vanished in May of 1990 when she was 30 years old. Her car was found abandoned along I-96 near the Fowlerville exit. Her purse and shoes were inside. Police released composites of 6 possible suspects, and they need help matching these faces to names. The cold case unit began processing tips 2 years ago, but they still have no clear idea as to why Renkoski stopped her car on the freeway.
If you enjoy our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Your support helps us uncover the truth. Now, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and prepare to be amazed. Let's dive in. Our story begins in the heart of Michigan, a state renowned for its Great Lakes, bustling cities, and a strong sense of community. Livingston County, with its rolling hills, lush forests, and charming farmlands, offers a perfect blend of rural peace and suburban convenience. Nestled between Lansing and Detroit, this region is a microcosm of Michigan life. Along the bustling Interstate 96, a major thoroughfare connecting Michigan's east and west, our narrative unfolds. A seemingly ordinary day on May 24, 1990, would mark a turning point for the small town of Fowlerville. Known for its annual fair and friendly neighbors, this close-knit community was about to face an extraordinary challenge. But our story starts a few miles away in Okemos. This vibrant suburb of Lansing, with its excellent schools and family-oriented atmosphere, was home to the central figure in our mystery. A beloved substitute teacher, her life was about to take an unexpected turn. Imagine Michigan in the early 1990s, a time before smartphones and social media dominated our lives. Payphones were ubiquitous, and news traveled through word of mouth and community bulletins. This was the world in which our story unfolds. When the news broke, the community rallied together. Neighbors supported neighbors, volunteers formed search parties, and local businesses offered assistance. This case would capture the attention of the entire state, becoming a haunting enigma. At the heart of this story is Paige Marie Renkoski, a 30-year-old woman raised with the quintessential Midwestern values of hard work and kindness. Little did she know that her ordinary life was about to be irrevocably changed. Born on February 2, 1960, Paige entered the world on a chilly Michigan winter day, bringing warmth and joy to her family. Growing up in Okemos, Paige was the apple of her parents' eyes. Her mom and dad, like many Michigan families, instilled in her a strong work ethic and a love for education. Picture a little girl with blonde hair and a bright smile, eagerly heading off to school each day, her backpack almost as big as she was. As Paige grew, so did her passion for learning and teaching. She blossomed into a caring young woman, known for her kindness and her ability to light up a room with her laughter. Can you imagine the pride her parents felt when she decided to follow in the footsteps of so many great educators? By 1990, at the age of 30, Paige had become a beloved substitute teacher. She had a special way with kids, making even the most boring subjects fun and exciting. Her students would often say, "I wish Miss Renkoski could be our teacher every day." Little did they know how much those words would mean in the days to come. But Paige's life wasn't all about work. She was engaged to be married, with dreams of starting her own family someday. Like many young couples, Paige and her fiancé had their ups and downs, but they were looking forward to their future together. On that fateful day in May, Paige started her morning like any other. She hugged her mom goodbye, promising to be back soon after dropping her off at the airport. Who could have guessed that this ordinary goodbye would be their last? Paige's disappearance sent shockwaves through the community. Her family, friends, and students couldn't believe what had happened. How could someone so full of life just vanish into thin air? As news spread, people from all walks of life came together. Paige's students made heartfelt posters, her colleagues organized search parties, and even strangers volunteered their time. The whole town seemed to ask, "Have you seen Paige?" The mystery deepened as more details emerged. Paige's car was found still running on the side of the highway, her purse and shoes left behind as if she had just stepped out for a moment. It was as if she had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a puzzle that would baffle everyone for years to come. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the community's hope began to waver, but Paige's spirit lived on in the memories of those who knew her. Her students would say, "Remember how Miss Renkoski used to make us laugh?" Her colleagues would recall her dedication, and her family would hold on to every precious memory. Paige Marie Renkoski may have disappeared, but her story was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning, a tale that would span decades, challenge the best minds in law enforcement, and leave an indelible mark on the heart of Michigan. Let's rewind to that sunny Thursday in May 1990. Paige, dressed in her colorful, loose-fitting pants and a white silk shirt, a long beaded necklace completing her outfit. She's humming along to the radio as she drives her mom to Detroit Metropolitan Airport. It's a special day. Her mom's off on a trip, and Paige is looking forward to some time with friends. After waving goodbye to her mom at the airport, Paige decides to visit a friend in Canton. Can you imagine the laughter and chatter as they catch up over coffee? Little did they know this would be their last time together. Around 2:30 in the afternoon, Paige stops at a local store. The clerk remembers her distinctly because of her eye-catching outfit. Paige buys a single beer, perhaps planning to relax at home later. This seemingly unimportant purchase would later become a crucial piece of the puzzle. As the afternoon wears on, Paige heads home along Interstate 96. It's a route she's driven many times before, but today is different. Something happens that causes her to pull over near Fowlerville. Here's where things get tricky. Witnesses report seeing a blonde woman matching Paige's description talking to two men next to a maroon-colored minivan. One witness even recalls seeing one of the men put his hand on the woman's shoulder as if comforting her. What could have prompted Paige to stop? Was she having car trouble? Did she know these men? Hours tick by, and Paige doesn't return home. Her family grows worried. Where could she be? It's not like her to disappear without a word. As evening falls, a police officer spots Paige's 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass Escalade on the shoulder of I-96. The scene is eerily calm. The car is still running. The door is unlocked. Inside, Paige's shoes and purse sit untouched. It's as if she stepped out for just a moment and vanished into thin air. The responding officer doesn't realize the significance of what he's found. He treats it as just another abandoned vehicle and has it towed away. It's a decision that would haunt the investigation for years to come. As night falls, Paige's family and friends are frantic. Where is she? What happened on that stretch of highway? The community rallies, forming search parties, distributing flyers, and pleading for any information. Little do they know, this is just the beginning of a mystery that will span decades, challenging investigators, captivating the public, and leaving a family in agonizing limbo. Paige Marie Renkoski stepped out of her car on May 24, 1990, and into one of Michigan's most baffling cold cases. The initial search was frantic, with volunteers combing through fields, peering into ditches, and calling Paige's name until their voices grew hoarse. But as days turned into weeks, hope began to dwindle. The police had their work cut out for them. They started by examining Paige's car, which should have been a goldmine of clues. But remember how it was initially treated as just an abandoned vehicle. That goof-up made things tricky. Still, the detectives didn't give up. They'd found fingerprints and palm prints in the car. Exciting, right? Well, not so fast. Despite checking every database they could think of, these prints remained a mystery. It was like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. The investigators also looked into Paige's personal life. They discovered she was engaged, but had been having some relationship troubles. Don't jump to conclusions, though. Her fiancé was quickly ruled out as a suspect. It seems love wasn't the culprit in this tale. As time went on, the case took more twists and turns than a roller coaster. In 2009, nearly 2 decades after Paige vanished, detectives revealed they had a list of 6 potential suspects. Ooh, progress at last. But here's the kicker. One of these suspects had already met his maker in Detroit back in 1999. Talk about a dead end. But wait, there's more. This mystery suspect once owned a burgundy minivan, just like the one witnesses saw on the day Paige disappeared. Coincidence? Maybe, but in the world of detective work, there's no such thing as coincidences. The investigation took some pretty wild turns over the years. In 2011, they even searched a pond in Handy Township. Why? Because a woman reported seeing cement-covered boots there around the time Paige vanished. Imagine the scene. Divers plunging into murky waters, hoping to uncover a clue. But alas, this lead, like so many others, led nowhere. Later that same year, the FBI joined the party. They started digging in Conway Township, guided by cadaver dogs and a mysterious hand-drawn map from 1999. Picture the excitement. Could this finally be the breakthrough they'd been waiting for? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Despite all these efforts, Paige's whereabouts remained a mystery. The police eventually had to make a tough call. They decided to treat the case as a homicide, even though they hadn't found Paige or figured out exactly what happened to her. But don't think for a second that people gave up. Michigan Crime Stoppers offered a reward for information. Billboards with Paige's face popped up along Interstate 96. It was as if the whole state was saying, "We haven't forgotten you, Paige." As the years rolled by, Paige's case became one of Michigan's longest-running cold cases. But in the hearts of those who knew her, and even those who only knew her story, Paige remained very much alive. In 2018, a bittersweet moment brought Paige's story back into the spotlight. Picture a somber gathering on a chilly February day. It would have been Paige's 58th birthday. But this wasn't just a birthday remembrance. It was a dual memorial service honoring both Paige and her mother, who had passed away in December 2017. Can you imagine the mix of emotions in that room? The sadness of losing a beloved mother and grandmother, combined with the unresolved ache of Paige's disappearance. It was a poignant reminder that while time marches on, some wounds never fully heal. But let's not think this case has been forgotten. Oh no. The Livingston County Sheriff's Department's cold case investigators are still on the job. These dedicated folks are like real-life detectives from your favorite mystery shows, except without the dramatic background music. They're still combing through old evidence, re-interviewing witnesses, and following up on any new leads that pop up. It's like they're trying to put together a giant jigsaw puzzle, but the pieces keep changing shape. And get this, in 2013, authorities came up with a bright idea, literally. They decided to erect new billboards featuring Paige and 2 other missing women. Talk about keeping the case in the public eye. These billboards serve as silent sentinels along Michigan's highways, reminding passersby that someone out there might hold the key to solving this mystery. Now, here's a fun fact for all you bookworms out there. Paige's story didn't just make headlines, it made it into a book. A true crime author named Clifford L. Leindecker included Paige's case in his book about another missing person. It's like Paige's story has become part of Michigan's folklore, a cautionary tale that parents tell their kids. Always be aware of your surroundings. But let's not forget the human side of this story. For Paige's family and friends, each passing year brings a mix of hope and heartache. They've had to learn to live with uncertainty, to celebrate holidays and milestones with a bittersweet awareness of who's missing from the table. And what about Paige's students? Those kids she taught are all grown up now, maybe with kids of their own. But you can bet they still remember their cheerful substitute teacher who made learning fun. As we wrap up our journey through this perplexing case, we're left with more questions than answers. What really happened on that sunny May afternoon in 1990? Who were the men by the maroon minivan? And where is Paige Marie Renkoski? These questions continue to echo through the years, reminding us that behind every unsolved case is a human story, a life interrupted, a family left wondering, and a community forever changed. So next time you're driving down I-96, keep an eye out for those billboards. And remember, in the world of cold cases, no clue is too small, no tip too insignificant. Because somewhere out there, someone knows something, and maybe, just maybe, that someone has you.